This is taken directly from a electrical switchgear house wiring, and after having modified in everything and all that, a vastly improved directly printed thing has been made. This is as part of another project. I thought I will show you. You have seen this, no? Is exactly what this picture shows here. This picture, what it shows is they have taken an existing 3D injection molded part, and then they have tried their best to do something else with it. Now you see here, I think you know what it is. It is a fan, and you see what a beauty it is. What looks otherwise like a dull I do not know what shall I call it, a PC fan at the back. Somebody has played with it and found out that they can make a nice ventilating fan. This right now, no, it is very easy. Any 3D software will convert a square profile to a round profile, or will do any matching, and very cute and interesting things can be made here. Can you see here? I do not know what that cartoon character is. So you have a cartoon character which it is a fan guard plus it is a cartoon character. So if you just keep it on the table, so it does its function extremely well. So you can see the Punisher skull fan and so on. So if you take a T-shirt, first of all a T-shirt made a T-shirt because it was formed in the form of a T. Now eventually you have so many variants, and while T-shirt is okay, size, fit and all is universal, the logo and the print on it is what all T-shirts are about. Same thing it happens here. Okay. So somebody has made a beautiful variation of the thing, and now if you see here, you have so many unlimited amount of things which you can put. So I think we are all familiar with this good old traditional patterns. You see here, this is a very traditional honeycomb pattern, and then why not make something, if you are a fan of Spider-Man, they made it look like a spider thing. These it is very easy. You can now go back and check. I will just stop here and I will see what else can be done here. Now can we make technical things like, you see here we have a nice fan here. There is some internet problem. So you can see that if you have a mechanism, a motor or anything, it is always very easy for us, for the at least first cut things to be made, easy for us to make these things. Both it is real as well as real world glimpse at 3D printing hype. That is what the picture says. So my suggestion is you go back and read and see what it is. If not, in mass manufacture, in samples, and just before we take those things, it is very much easy for us to print and verify these things. So this one is a probably what you call a spinner like thing, and it is a regular what looks like a turbo what you call compressor which can be used inside. So I will probably leave it here, and then I will go to some very mundane and routine things. You have seen this. Enough data is available for you to go and check, and earlier what has been printed, what has been made also, all sorts of variations are available. I do not think I need to explain further in this, just have a look at it. Easy, not impossible to print, and any offset, anything you want to do can always be done here, including in case you want to make a stopper such that does not overshoot, and in case you want to have a countersunk or anything you want, everything can be easily done by our famous 3D printing. Anything unusual in this? I think you will notice it is a double hinge. So, I have a hinge here and a hinge here. With the double hinge, it is possible for you to bend anything in the other direction also. So, makes an interesting what you call reversible hinge concept. These things at a concept level very easy for us to make, print, try. Can you see there? So, you can have it overlap this way, that way, and then if you are trying say some electronic keyboard or something with a display, maybe these things will help you a lot. So, it is just for you. If you go and search on the internet, you need not copy anything, you will have your own variation of it. And my take here is the parts which take the load, it is best to still make them in metal. So, I do not know in this case whether it is this piece is a metallic piece or it is a what do you call various things here. Probably it may not be a metallic piece, it may or may not be a metallic piece. And at this point now I thought I will show you something here. Can you see what we have, where I have kept my mouse? So, all these things you have the basic solid. So, basic solid can be in the thing what we have, both you have solid edge and then we have solids assembly programming and all that. Eventually everything has to be converted into a stereolithography file. Only this STL files are the one which are accepted by 3D machines, 3D printers as such. So, I will see if I can, we thought I will show you there, but somehow I have run out of little problem here. So, this is a really beautiful example. So, if you go around and check anything you want, including a watch strap, including a what looks like a flexible hand, saying can you flex it, and individual magnetic hinge for anatomical models. He says probably inside, no, I am not very clear what that what he is talking about, but this whole thing works very well with wires being pulled and so on. So, this is really what good 3D printing is all about. See, very easy for you. And now it comes to the other point is saying what do you do with it, and whether you create the models or go and import them or whatever you want to do. So, obviously when the material is available like this, to avoid shipping, you can probably buy the the print, the STL file, and then print it yourself. Once you have confidence in the supplier, they give you the other parts. You have seen that no parts have been printed in PLA, but should print without any in ABS or other materials, and so on like that. This is some I think lactic acetate, which is a little easy to print, low low temperature, easy thing to make, but it is sufficient for most applications. Then they have shown here now how the hinge assembly makes itself. You have seen this. It is just for you to get familiar with it. So, we have a large list of these, anything you want to make probably it is available. Now, it comes to the your what do you call nature of oh, do you remember this is taken directly from their website of Stratasys, the machine we have here. So, what has been done here is they have been able to make, can you see here as that shaped something is there, there is a groove inside and you see this another living hinge. In the case of this living hinge, a small piece and this. So, yesterday I was trying to show you my, oh I do not know how it is loading, correct, it is slowly loading here. Instead of making a mechanical hinge, you can use that this their patent material to make things which can easily print about it. So, we have all these, some of them are novelties, some of them are real. So, I have here my, this came with a Cameleon battery, this thing, things like this can easily be printed in 3D printing. We even have a something like a cake box, and you see here anything you want now, somebody has done it and enough data is available for you. So, that you can practice and make things little more flexible, you can make things that stack easily in this case. You see here very much flexible items, these are flexible stuff which you can use for various operations. So, easy for you to build all these things. And another interesting thing is often very difficult to make mechanisms. If you are to make a pantograph or if you want to make something, such things are relatively easy to make in our what do you call this technology. So, if you come back to my thing here, taking hints from all the things which I have seen here on the what you call which are available on the internet, we went about and tried to create this object. And again I told you about it. So, if when we are here, the starting point is probably that you try to take a you need real life data. In my case, it is this very what looked like an extremely simple, how do I say, box to make a, to hold a printed circuit. So, we see that several of the details which are given here are very, very critical. That opening and that opening refers to where it is held, and why we need to remove material is all around. There are components which it is likely to touch, and I have two grooves here. I have a groove here and a groove there to ensure that after the soldering is done, the wires can be taken off here. And on the other side, I have a small opening there which is used for tuning the potentiometer which is inside. And this only for the fine adjustment, finally you will be able to do it. And then notice here one of the important thing is all the openings are little squarish, they are not circular anymore, because if you want to make it circular, while the building part of it is okay, while the printing is going on, usually support material will be required for that. When the support material is required, then it takes slower, and after that releasing it becomes much difficult. So, for this session I will stop here and I will see what best can be done next. And this is what one more thing I wanted to stress. most of the things that are shown here are sharp edged, but because of what you call our generally they do not look very well when you want to look at them, because they look flat. So, easiest way for most of our times what we do is we give it a gentle fillet in the corners. So, if I take all the edges here and fillet them, yeah, I hope it has yeah, something it has created. Only when I give a rendering you will able to see how well it has rendered. Can you see here? Now, the corners are able to what do you call catch the highlights, and this looks more like a real object, but in actually real printing getting these fillets usually messes it up a little. Having done this, if we have the corresponding matching part, typically a printed circuit board, and in my case at the back I have a heat sink that is going to sit on it, my job is done and it will come out perfect the first time. With a little experience it will come out perfect the first time. So, I will stop here, thank you. I will continue if I mean if we have loaded it down on the machine, if the machine starts I will continue in the next session with how this job is printed, how the small DC-DC converter sticks inside. Okay. So, thank you.